Hey, Adam here with a simple and fast review of the Teendow D20S Max Plus robot vacuum. We're going to open it up, show you what it looks like, test it out, and of course let you know whether or not it's worth buying. Alright, so as I get the box open, looks like a couple different parts on top, so might require a couple ways to get this out here. Alright, so there's some QR codes on this side, so I'm going to do my best to kind of try and hide them. We'll get these open. Alright, so as we get the top box open, this is going to be mostly my hose, it feels like, and some brush attachments, as well as a trimmer, it looks like. So USB-A to specific plug-in here, and I'm just going to kind of bring this box up to you so you can kind of see the different features here. But it looks like a trimmer. So you have an actual trimmer here with adjustables. So, and it might be a little bit of a hose connection as well. So some clipper for length. This will be more of like a vacuum connection pieces to get rid of some hair. So there's going to be a lot of different connections to this. I'm going to probably focus a little bit less on that because my puppy doesn't really like to have his hair cut too much by me. So we will maybe vacuum him up a little bit just to kind of show you, but it kind of looks like it's like a little bit of a Floby, if you're familiar, where it cuts and vacuums at the same time. So we'll go ahead and open up the rest. All right, so you'll have a user manual and quick start guide in here. Looks like a vacuum bag or two as well. Power cord, filter, hose connection, a couple pieces, I should show you these up close, for the vacuum, the robot vacuum that's going to be roaming to try and clean up the ground. Then we'll have our floor vacuum. Which kind of has a mop capability as well. You'll have your little legs. These go in and out based on weight, it looks like. This is our swivel over here. And then please remove before using. So we're going to go ahead and pull that and that. Should come out. Our little pieces like so. There is a QR code on here, so I'm going to just kind of face it this direction. As you can see, the weight takes those. I don't know if you actually can see, so let me back this up a little bit. The weight will take it down a little bit on those tires, and it will be ready to kind of run. Probably going to need to charge this up. Next, we'll have our actual kind of vacuum. Which comes in multiple pieces, it looks like. This is going to be the docking station. For this, which will likely click in kind of like that to go charge. We'll have our hose, which will got a QR code over here, which I'm probably going to have to blur out as well. And we'll go ahead and try and figure out some connections. This lifts off and can be mobile, which is great. And then this will kind of, not sure where it'll connect just yet, but we will figure that part out. Looks like this might be something that clicks in right there and can be mobile if we're not going to use it in this stand. So let's go ahead and get things charged up, turned on, and all that stuff, and we'll give you a better up close. All right, so the first task that you need to get is find one of these two, and then you're just going to click it on to the open space, and it's pretty obvious where it goes. And then the other one we're going to store, and then we're going to prepare this for charging. So as far as the charging itself, what we want to do is plug in to the plug area right in here, and then we're going to make sure we align our robot to these sensors. And before you really start using it, you want to just charge it up. So we're going to do that while we configure the rest of this stuff. Now, at some point, you are going to need to download an app. And I'm going to just show you on the user manual where my thumb is right here is a QR code, which I'm trying to hide. You'll need to download an app. Now, this will allow you to map out your areas, your rooms. Be sure that any kind of frilly carpeting, if there's any kind of like stringy stuff on the ground, if there's any loose wires, all that stuff is cleaned up. Try and keep this away from steps, fireplaces, stuff like that before you just map everything out. So make sure you download the app, and that'll all be in the user manual. And it should start to look something like this when charging, and so we'll go ahead and let this charge up. So when you first get it started, it will map the room, so just be aware that if you have something like this, you may need to move it if you want to kind of clean it. Otherwise, you'll have to keep that there all the time as it slowly maps. And it does go around curtains, to be aware, and you will have puppies that are a little taken back by what you're doing. So it's going to kind of just figure out the room as is and adjust. And it's pretty smart, so pretty cool stuff. And again, it's just going to map out the exterior first, ideally, and then it will go in and kind of just figure some stuff out. So this will go around those pillows. If you're like me, your wife has 1,000 pillows. Anyway, so it'll go ahead and map out kind of the room. And if you want to open doors to have it go into other spaces, you may need to do that. I'm not sure if it'll actually do this or not, but we're going to find out in a second. Nope, it's just slowly mapping out different areas when it finds like doorway areas. So I think it'll just continue asking you to follow it around as you kind of map out your room, and from there we'll kind of just set it up to be auto and everything like that. Now I do have some carpet under there, and so I'm wondering how this is going to handle that. So it looks like it's going to go in and kind of find different spots under there. So just be aware that it'll map out all that kind of stuff. Make sure it's fully charged as you go in and prepare to do all this stuff. I think I got it caught on some stuff. Nope, it's moving it. So I do have cords under there, so I do have to kind of be careful because I have a bed that will move. So it's just kicking that cord around right now.
So I got to figure out how to get this thing out and unhook from that.
And I think because I pulled it out, it might have messed up the mapping, but the app should be able to walk you through the apping process anyway. So it kind of uses, I guess, radar or something as it's slowly mapping out my room here. It does a pretty cool job of it. And I'm not sure that you can really see this properly or not, but it's mapping it out and going into another room. So very cool so far. All right, so I'm just going to run through some of the benefits of the app here that you can really understand. So it will literally map out your house, and you can do multiple floors. So just let me show you. You can kind of restrict areas. You can custom edit the maps. You can change the cleaning preferences, whether you want to vac and mop, vac only, mop only, water adjustments, low, medium, high, suction sound, quiet, standard, strong, super. Super obviously is going to do the best cleaning. And then you can customize it, all that stuff. And then the cool thing is you've got all these things where you can schedule, you can manage your maps. So, I can have a floor 1, a floor 2. You can, if you see these little red boxes, they're kind of like a do not go into area. So even though it's mapped out that area, I've got cords or, I got a fireplace down here. I've got doors, I've got things, stairs that they need to avoid. But the real cool part is when we look at like kind of the current map. Let me just go back and we zoom in. First of all, it'll show you exactly kind of what it does as far as its cleaning process, where it's going, how it does it. You can do it by zone. You can choose a certain room. So I can do auto. I can select zone cleaning. I can pin. I can drop a pin specifically in an area. And I apologize if I'm missing some of this stuff. It's hard to kind of look at my phone and do it through this camera. So. But I can drop a pin and have it go. I can just select a zone or a room. I can select a specific zone. So like I go in and I can just say, I want that's on auto. So selected zone. I can then, I have to confirm it. So I then just select, this zone and maybe this zone, and then I hit that button and it does it. If I wanted to go back and charge, in the middle of a cleaning, I can hit that button and it'll just, it'll end the task and go back to its home and start charging. So many different things as far as scheduling, cleaning records, voice volume, where it is, carpet boost. It's really just an amazing setup. And then of course the whole time you have kind of an idea of, what it's doing, battery percentage, all that stuff. When I click it on auto, it's just going to run. And, again, I can pause it. I can do all these different things. And then, of course, if you have multiple, you can set up a whole system of devices and everything like that. So this thing is totally awesome. I'm not even going to bother showing you the part where you hook this up and you vacuum and all that, you cut your dog's hair or anything like that. That's just an added bonus. The actual robot, to me, is totally worthwhile. And, again, just kind of seeing the progress, seeing it go is really amazing. So great value here. Hopefully this review helped, and thanks for watching.